and you understand the technical adjustments, but if you're Calumet, you just took a beating. How do you recover?
Well, ultimately, it's still just 1-0. So whether you lost by 2 or you lost by 50, it doesn't matter. The more interesting part will be Calumet broke the lanes down further to the right than Wichita State, playing into Wichita State's favor. Now Wichita State playing further left. I don't know if Calumet can make the adjustment. If it plays out that way, Calumet will probably go high their first couple shots on this lane.
There's Jacob Peters. You see what he did in the first match. And 10-pin just would not budge. Now, different lanes, of course. Obviously, everybody moving over a little bit. How much do you pay attention when you're watching what the other team is doing on the lane that you're about to bowl on?
It helps to pay attention to it because as those balls go down, each one takes a little bit of oil off the front of the lane. We'll push a little bit more to the back of the lane as well. But the real tell is when you get to your first player up there and the guy that you know what he does and then you know what your moves are. This is where team communication really comes into play and why the best teams tend to win in the Baker format.
So a steady start for the Shockers. Calumet will come back with their leadoff bowler, the lefty, Daniel Locke, a senior from Hobart, Indiana. As he did in game 1, he begins with a solid roll.
Well, and that's exactly what they had to do. You can't let Wichita State get back out in front of you again without putting up a fight. They can get an early double, put a little pressure on them, and change Wichita State's mental outlook on this from being just loose and getting a free wheel.
And Josh McBride with a couple of words to himself right before he sets up.
Coach Vatican said he had a fantastic national championship last year and has done the same again this year.
Oh, great pitch, great pitch.
He's 3 for 3. Whatever he said to himself, he listened. Here's a big shot for Toby Cross. Now, he's had a little trouble on the other lane. He gets a fresh lane he hasn't bowled on before, and this is a big opportunity here for Calumet to put up a double. Mixed it up.
Nice shot. Saw earlier he played around the 6th board on this on the right lane. Now he has actually moved in a little bit, made a nice adjustment. These guys are ahead of the move. They're anticipating a little bit more friction. Great shot for a double.
The sophomore Ronnie Sparks got a little high.
High trouble.
And you know what? Sometimes the 6'10 looks pretty good to you.
Some 8s are much better than others. You see this one. This one goes high here. He could have left his bat as a 4-6. Pretty fortunate to only leave the 6'10. About 2 boards inside of target. He's been playing 11. That was about 13.
One-time collegiate rookie of the year. A junior Team USA member. Steady as she goes for the Shockers, but a little bit of an opening here for Calumet.
Well, it's the first time that Wichita State has been behind in this match.
Down by 10. Come on! 4-pin left for Alberson. You see the speed, 18.6. Does that mean much to you?
Yeah, that's initial ball speed there. And he's a little bit softer than probably the average speed on some of these Wichita State players and even his 4th and 5th players on his team. But he also has made a nice adjustment. Has moved further left on the lane. They are ahead of that move where we thought Wichita State playing left might make it worse for them. They've actually made it better.
The Calumet got an early trouble in the first game, but in the second game they've been much steadier and actually have a slight advantage over the Shockers. But Wichita State brings out the cleanup hitters. They don't have just one, they have 2.
They have about 4.
And Josh Blanchard's first strike of the championship match.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
when this kid has world-class talent. Watch as he crosses right through about the 15th and a half board. Light shaker, using all that power to mix him up down lane. Gets his first strike of this national championship match.
And that relentless style has powered Wichita State. They've had 19 games here in El Paso, and they've lost only 2.
Turn. Boy, really nice shot. I really like Sammy's game. He's got almost a European style a little bit to it, where he opens his shoulder more than the average player does. And the fact that this right lane hooks a little bit more helps him. Plays right into his strengths. Moved in now to about the 11th board. And you can see this coach loving the fact that his guys have showed up now. They're looking comfortable. Got control of the pocket again. And have turned this thing around and put some pressure on the Shockers.
Full swing last time, 8. I should play 8 with your full swing.
Meantime, John Serpinski, he understands how to handle pressure. No problem for him. I mean, he's looking for a 3rd national championship along with some of his teammates, 3rd consecutive national championship to boot.
What a shot that was. And in this match, every time he has been called upon to close out a match, he's thrown the first strike in the 10th to win a game. He's thrown a double in the 10th to win another game. He threw a field goal strike to win by 1. He's been huge for the Shockers.
Now, Leghorn in the anchor position. Got to get moving. His team now down a pin. Well, it's makeable, Chris, but let's be frank. I mean, your anchor bowler has got to come through in that situation.
Well, and he's a little bit confused. He went light twice on the other lane. Everybody has moved on this right lane, but he has a little higher rev rate than the rest of his team. When he moved in right into the middle of where all the Wichita State players were. Found more friction.
He's had a split every shot on his first ball. Going for this, he'll miss it. Picked up only the 6 and the 10. And a big hole on the scoreboard suddenly for Mike Kubacki and the Calumet College of St. Joseph Crimson Wave. Wichita State steady, has not had an open frame yet, but Calumet's open, and the 5th frame may have opened the door for the Shockers to march to a 10th national championship. Can the Crimson Wave come back? Well, we'll all find out together.